Hello friends! I need a sort of smaller project after that tool chest build, so I'm going to restore this old box. It's actually an old measuring device for 2 liters. Got that carved here. There's also some other carving that I can't quite make out. It's been repaired before with nails. It's sort of crude, and I'm going to try to pull it apart, polish up the pieces and see if I can get it back together. This is a pretty odd thing. It's a perfectly cut, tapered sliding dovetail, which is weird because the other dovetails are extremely rough. There are just massive gaps in these, while this one is, yeah, just flawless. And I don't know the purpose of this either. It wasn't glued. It seems like it's made to be removable. But then the bottom was nailed on here, which of course prevents it from being pulled out. So I really don't know what it's for. It's made from beech as well, so it's a lot harder than this pine. I'm sure there is some purpose to it, but I don't know. I'm just going to clean it up by putting it in there and planing it in place. These are the pieces that were the bottom after a little bit of cleanup. I don't know if they actually were one board to start with and they fell apart. They are very cracked, lots of big rusty nail holes, and they're so dry they feel almost fragile. But I still really want to use the original pieces. I don't want to replace these. So what I've decided to do is I'm going to bevel the edges, make them about a 1/4 inch, and plane a groove on the inside of the box, so instead of nailing it on, I can slide it into that groove like a free floating panel in there. That should be a more long-term solution than nails, I hope. Alright, here it is dry fit with the panel in place. With this solution the panel can expand and contract with the moisture changes instead of being locked in place by the nails, so hopefully it shouldn't crack anymore. Now it's time to deal with what might be the most glaring issue with this, which is the extremely loose dovetail joints. I think I have a solution for that. What I'm going to try is make a thin saw kerf down the middle of each pin, and on the outside pins I will make the kerf a bit closer to the tail, and when I glue it up I will smash down some wedges there Hopefully that will force apart the pin to take up that gap and actually create some mating glue surfaces, which there is not a whole lot of right now. So I'll take it apart and get sawing. Almost at the glue up now. I just want to pre-finish the bottom and the insides of the walls with beeswax. I'm not going to do anything else. I don't really want to alter the color of this, just give it a little bit of protection. You can see here what a subtle finish beeswax is. The pins has nothing and the inside is buffed. It adds a very soft shine and it does make the colors a little bit deeper, but it doesn't really change the tone. It doesn't add any yellow or red, it just brings out what's already there. So yeah, let's see if we can get these joints to close up now. Alright, I think that was a success. It's totally solid, and I really like the contrast between the birch wedges and the old pine. There are still a few gaps here and there, and I'm going to try to fill those with little slivers of pine. Hopefully I can make them blend in. And to fill up the last few gaps I will make a paste of sawdust and shellac. Alright, the denatured alcohol has flashed off. It's looking rather dust free, feels smooth and nice everywhere. It's time for the wax. My wax polish has a bit of linseed oil in it. I don't remember the exact proportions. I just looked up a recipe and made it myself on the kitchen stove. You have to put some oil or turpentine in it, otherwise it's just too hard. So the oil does make it penetrate a bit. That's why I'm rubbing a little bit extra on the end grain, so it will really soak up as much as it needs. And I like to rub the surface with my fingers. Just the warmth makes the wax melt, and I feel like the finish penetrates the grain a little bit deeper. I don't know if it actually does, but I imagine it gets a little bit more of a deep luster by doing that. And then of course buffing it off with a rag. Buffing quite hard makes this super smooth, slightly shiny but not glossy surface. I think it's really nice. Alright, considering the condition it was in before, I don't think that turned out too bad. I hope the original maker would have appreciated it, and I hope in a few decades someone else will be confused by my choices and fix it up again. Thank you for watching.